The Apex Innovations office is sleek, modern, with glass partitions and polished floors. It's a hive of activity. Dylan Blackwood, dressed in a simple, slightly worn polo shirt and modest trousers, navigates through the maze of desks, a stack of folders clutched to his chest. He looks unassuming, almost invisible. Chloe spots him from her desk, rolling her eyes to a nearby colleague. Look, it's intern Dylan, still trying to blend in with the furniture. Dylan pretends not to hear, heading towards a large glass-walled office. This is Mr. Harrison's office. Harrison, a portly man in an expensive suit, is shouting into his phone. Dylan knocks softly on the glass. Harrison gestures him in impatiently. Yes, still on the phone. The Q3 reports must be flawless. We're talking about my reputation here. He turns to Dylan. What is it, intern? Can't you see I'm busy running a multi-million-dollar empire? Mr. Harrison, the quarterly reports you requested from finance. Harrison snatches the folders, barely glancing at them. Just put them there, and get me a double espresso. Make sure it's extra hot, and no sugar. You always mess that up. Dylan nods, turns to leave. As Dylan reaches the door, oh, and Dylan, your shoes. He gestures to Dylan's scuffed but clean loafers. They really don't scream Apex Innovations. Maybe invest in something more presentable. Impression matters even for an intern. Dylan's jaw tightens imperceptibly. He exits, closing the door softly. Dylan is meticulously preparing Mr. Harrison's coffee. Sam, another intern, is microwaving his lunch. Rough start to the day, huh? Mr. Harrison's on another tirade. Just another Tuesday. He really got on your case about your shoes yesterday, didn't he? Chloe was gossiping about it for hours. Said you looked like you just walked out of a thrift store. Dylan shrugs, a hint of something unreadable in his eyes. They're comfortable. And clean. I guess just try not to stand out too much. You know how it is. We're just the interns. Gotta stay in our place. Dylan pours the coffee into a fancy mug. He glances around the gleaming kitchenette, at the expensive coffee machine, the imported biscuits. To himself a whisper, stay in my place, right? He carries the coffee out. Trevor is holding court by the water cooler, boasting to a few colleagues, including Chloe. And I closed that deal with Glow.com just by walking in there with confidence. It's all about presence, you know? Not like some people who look like they're still in high school. He glances pointedly at Dylan, who is passing by, carrying a stack of old files to the shredder. You mean our dear intern, Dylan? Bless his heart, he tries. But some people just aren't cut out for the corporate world. All that running around, getting coffee. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Dylan pauses by the shredder, his back to them. He feeds the papers in, listening. Exactly. Stick to the small tasks, Dylan. Leave the big deals to the big boys. Dylan pushes the last of the papers into the shredder. The noise is loud. He turns, a faint, almost imperceptible smile plays on his lips. Noted, Mr. Trevor. Some tasks are bigger than others, indeed. He walks away, leaving Trevor and Chloe slightly confused by his unexpected reply. Mar S. Davis, the HR manager, is at her desk. Mr. Harrison storms in, looking furious. Mrs. Davis, do something about that intern. Dylan, he just ruined my presentation. He was supposed to load the files, and half of them were corrupted. Sir, Dylan is usually very thorough. Are you sure it wasn't a system glitch? Don't make excuses for him. He's lazy, distracted, probably playing games on his phone instead of doing his job. I want him given extra unpleasant duties. Make him clean out the old storage room. And if he complains, write him up. We need to remind these interns of their place. Mrs. Davis hesitates, then nods slowly. She glances at a file on her desk, a glowing performance review from Dylan's previous department. She sighs. Dylan, still in his simple clothes, is methodically moving heavy boxes covered in years of grime. He coughs from the dust. Sam peeks his head in. What are you doing in here? This place hasn't been touched since dinosaurs roamed the earth. Mr. Harrison's new directive. Extra duties. Apparently, I messed up a presentation. What? That's ridiculous. I saw you loading those files yesterday. You checked everything twice. He'd probably just clicked the wrong button himself. He always blames us. Dylan just shrugs, wiping sweat from his brow. This isn't fair. They treat you like dirt. Why do you even put up with it? Why not just quit? Dylan pauses, looking at a particular box labeled Company Archives, 1998. He brushes off the dust. Sometimes you learn more by observing from the shadows. Sam, you see things people don't want you to see. And sometimes you find things. He pulls a very old, dusty ledger from the box, flipping through its brittle pages. Sam shakes his head, confused, but offers to help. Dylan sits at a modest desk, the old ledger open. He's meticulously cross-referencing information from it with a new, sleek tablet. He looks tired but focused. He pulls out his personal phone and calls. "Hey, Dad, just checking in." "Yeah, Apex is interesting. Still learning. You know, I've noticed some inconsistencies. Revenue projections versus actuals. And some curious expenditures from a few years back. No, nothing concrete yet. Just a gut feeling. But the timing of their rent issues, it's all adding up. Okay, I will. Thanks, Dad." He hangs up. His gaze sweeps around his small, comfortable apartment. It's simple, but everything is neat and functional. A stark contrast to the opulence of the Apex offices, yet a subtle hint of refined taste. Mr. Harrison is on a video call, looking agitated. Mar S. Davis, the HR manager, sits stiffly opposite him. Chloe and Trevor stand nervously by the desk. Into video call. "I assure you, Mr. Jenkins, there are no issues on our end. The rent will be paid, of course. Just a slight delay. Cash flow, you understand. A minor hiccup." The face on the screen, Emma Jenkins, remains unreadable. "Mr. Harrison, the terms of the lease are clear. Rent is due on the 1st. Today is the 5th. My principal is particular about adherence to agreements, especially with such prime real estate. Of course. We respect the owner immensely. Apex Innovations thrives in this building. It's our home. Just a few more days, Mr. Jenkins, please. Convey our deepest apologies to the owner. I will convey your message. However, consider this a formal notice. If the outstanding payment, plus the late fee, is not received by 5 p.m. today, legal action will commence. My principal values punctuality above all else. Good day, Mr. Harrison." Mr. Jenkins' face disappears from the screen. Harrison slams his hand on the desk. "Imbeciles. Where's finance? Mrs. Davis, this is a catastrophe. This building is Apex. If we lose this prime location, we lose everything. Nervously, I'll chase finance, sir. But we've had some unexpected capital outflows this quarter. The budget is very tight. This is unacceptable. Do they know who the owner of this building is? The principal that Jenkins mentioned? He's a recluse, a phantom billionaire. If he pulls the plug, we are finished. Trevor, Chloe, any luck with that last-minute loan?" Shaking his head. "Global Bank said no. Our credit score took a hit last quarter, apparently. Something about questionable expenditure patterns." Chloe avoids eye contact, fidgeting with her expensive pen. Chaos. Phones ringing off the hook. Harrison paces furiously. Chloe and Trevor look genuinely terrified. They're really going to evict us? Just like that? After all these years? Who is this owner, anyway? Why is he so ruthless? Does he not care about a thriving business? Don't they know how much we contribute to the city's economy? He cares about money, Trevor. And we haven't paid him. Get me that finance report. I need to see where every penny went." Dylan walks past, carrying a carton of empty printer paper boxes. He glances at the panicked faces, a small, knowing glint in his eye. Spotting Dylan, desperate. "Dylan, don't just stand there. We need more coffee. Strong, black, and quick. And then go downstairs and tell security that we are expecting Mr. Jenkins any moment. He's coming in person. This is critical, boy. Don't you dare mess it up." "Yes, sir." Dylan goes to the kitchenette. He takes his time, a serene focus in his movements. Mr. Jenkins walks into the pristine reception area. The receptionist stands up quickly. "Good afternoon, sir. Mr. Harrison is expecting you. He's very agitated." A knowing smile, greater than I can imagine. "And please inform him that my principal is also here." The receptionist looks confused. "Your principal, sir? I wasn't informed of anyone else." Just then, Dillon walks out of the elevator, holding a tray with coffee. He's dressed in the same modest clothes. Mr. Jenkins smiles warmly at him. To the receptionist, gesturing to Dillon, greater than yes, "My principal." He prefers to handle matters personally, sometimes. This is Dillon Blackwood. The receptionist's eyes widen in disbelief as she looks from the impeccably dressed Mr. Jenkins to the humble intern holding coffee. Dillon offers her a small, polite nod. Harrison, Chloe, Trevor, and Mrs. Davis are all gathered, looking tense. The door opens. The receptionist ushers in Mr. Jenkins. "Mr. Jenkins, thank goodness. We were just—" Mr. Jenkins raises a hand, cutting him off. "Mr. Harrison, as promised, I am here, and I have brought my principal." Mr. Jenkins steps aside, revealing Dillon, who walks in calmly, still holding the coffee tray. His simple shoes click softly on the polished floor. Everyone stares. A stunned silence. Confused and furious, greater than what is the meaning of this, Jenkins? "You brought the intern? Is this some kind of sick joke? Dillon, what are you doing here? Get back to your duties. This is a private meeting." Smiling gently. Greater than Mr. Harrison, Dillon is here for his duties. You see, he's been conducting a performance review, of sorts, and a rather insightful one, I might add. Dillon sets the coffee tray down on Harrison's desk. He looks directly at Mr. Harrison, then at Chloe and Trevor, his expression unreadable. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a small, sleek black card. He places it on the desk. It's an access card, not for Apex Innovations, but for the entire building. The Blackwood Holdings logo is subtly embossed on it. Voice calm, clear, no longer quiet, yet carrying immense weight, greater than good afternoon. "Everyone, Mr. Jenkins is correct. I am here on duty, and it seems there have been some fundamental misunderstandings about how business should be conducted." Chloe gasps, her hand flying to her mouth. Trevor's jaw drops, eyes wide with dawning horror. Harrison's face drains of all color as he looks from Dillon to the card, then back to Dillon. He finally recognizes the family crest on the card. The crest of Blackwood Holdings, the conglomerate that owns hundreds of properties across the country, including this very building. Stammering, horrified, greater than Blackwood. You're the Blackwood? Arthur Blackwood's son? The owner?" "Indeed. My father, Mr. Arthur Blackwood, believes in hands-on learning. He wanted me to understand the businesses that rent our properties, from the ground up, unbiased, unseen. So he sent me here as an intern, to observe, to learn, and yes, to serve coffee." He gestures to his scuffed shoes. "And these shoes, Mr. Harrison, they've walked these halls every day. They've seen me dismissed for my appearance. They've witnessed me doing menial tasks while critical reports were neglected. They've seen me take the blame for others' mistakes, and they've seen the lack of respect shown to many, especially those you deemed just the interns." Mr. Harrison slowly sinks into his chair, utterly defeated. Chloe and Trevor look like statues, their past mockery echoing painfully in their minds. Mrs. Davis looks mortified, realizing her own complicity. "Mr. Jenkins, I believe the rent payment for Apex Innovations is still outstanding, and there was a late fee mentioned. Plus, I have some new documentation regarding a recent pattern of questionable financial practices and staff mismanagement." "Correct, sir. And a pattern of very concerning management issues that now warrant immediate re-evaluation of the tenancy agreement and potential legal action far beyond just eviction." Dillon turns back to Mr. Harrison, his voice now firm, authoritative, yet still calmly resonant. "Mr. Harrison, Apex Innovations is falling short, not just on rent, but on the principles of integrity, respect, and sound leadership that my family values. This building, it's not just a structure. It's a testament to hard work and ethical business, and we cannot have our tenants operating below those standards. especially when they occupy prime real estate owned by Blackwood Holdings. He pauses, letting his words sink in, making direct eye contact with each person who had mocked him. Consider this a final notice. Payment must be cleared, with all fees and penalties, by the end of business today. And as for the leadership and workplace culture, that will require a complete overhaul. My legal team and a new management assessment team will be arriving first thing tomorrow morning. Dylan looks at Chloe and Trevor, a final, knowing look in his eyes. Their faces are pale, their careers hanging by a thread. To everyone in the room, I believe that's all for now. I trust we understand each other. He turns and walks out of the office, Mr. Jenkins following, leaving behind a stunned, utterly silent room. Harrison stares blankly at the access card on his desk, his empire crumbling around him. Chloe and Trevor look at each other, their faces a mixture of fear and regret. The next morning, the office feels different. Quieter, more focused. Mr. Harrison's office door is ajar, but the room is empty. Mrs. Davis approaches Sam, who is looking a little dazed. Sam, good morning. Could you point me towards Dylan Blackwood's new office? He's asked for a complete audit of our employee files. Immediately. Sam grins, pointing towards Harrison's now empty office. He's actually in Mr. Harrison's old office, Mrs. Davies. Mr. Harrison won't be in today, or ever again, from what I heard. Mrs. Davis nods, looking solemn, then hurries towards the office. Dylan sits at the large executive desk. He's dressed in a well-fitting, but still understated, blazer. He looks completely at ease. On the desk, neatly placed, are his slightly worn loafers, sitting beside a polished pair of designer dress shoes. He picks up one of his loafers, turning it over in his hand. He smiles, a genuine, confident smile. Mr. Jenkins enters. Everything proceeding as planned, Mr. Blackwood. Perfectly, Mr. Jenkins. This company has potential. It just needed the right foundation and a little less pretense. He glances at the designer shoes, then back at his old loafers. He pushes the designer shoes slightly to the side, keeping his loafers front and center. To himself, almost a whisper, never forget where you started, and never forget the value of what's often unseen. If you enjoyed watching this power dynamic unfold and seeing how the tables turned, make sure to subscribe to this channel for more stories like this. Like this video if you want to see more of Dylan's journey, and share it with anyone who appreciates a good underdog story.